This program is produced by the volunteers of Tellico Village Broadcasting. Welcome to another special presentation of Tellico Village Broadcasting. I'm your host for this morning, Elliot Domans, and today we're going to talk about Wreaths Across America. Now, you may not be familiar at all with Wreaths Across America. It's a national program, but here to tell us about it today are two very close friends and neighbors from Tellico Village, Mike and Sherry Blackwell, and they are in charge of the Tellico Village portion of Wreaths Across America, and we're going to find out about all of that right now. Mike, good morning. Good morning, Sherry.
Good morning.
Great to see you both.
Good to see you too.
Now, for our viewers, give us an idea how you got involved with Wreaths Across America.
Well, back in 2015, my brother passed away, and when it came to the anniversary of his passing, we wanted to find something that we could do to honor and remember him. And we started looking around and we found Wreaths Across America. And we went out to Miramar National Cemetery in San Diego and placed wreaths and donated wreaths. And it was a very touching presentation and ceremony, and we just have continued to do that.
And that's a blessing really for your brother and also for the people at Miramar, the vets interred at Miramar.
Yep.
Yes.
Mike, I know that this is a situation, obviously, that Sherry just explained is near and dear to your heart. Tell us how you took that experience and translated it here to Tellico Village and Knox Wreaths and so forth and so on. It's a fantastic national organization, but you and Sherry have both localized it, distilled it down to our folks here at Tellico Village.
As Sherry said, we've been here for about 18 months, and last December, being our first year here in East Tennessee, we continued our habit of donating and volunteering with Wreaths Across America, and that opportunity made itself available for us at Knoxville National. So we went down there, had an opportunity to partake in the ceremony and in the placing of the wreaths. Now, there are over 9,000 veterans interred currently at Knoxville National, and we were kind of dismayed to find when it came to time to place the wreaths that they only had about 3,000 wreaths available for that site. So we got all the wreaths placed, but there were folks who were there to honor a certain family member or relative who was interred that didn't happen to get a wreath. And so they were taking them from one headstone, placing them on another headstone. A lot of folks were upset. I mean, it's a very emotional time, and we understood that, and we were upset by the fact that not every veteran there was being honored in the manner that was intended. So we kind of made a promise to ourselves that we were going to do whatever we could to mobilize our new community here in Tellico Village in the surrounding area to see that that situation did not repeat itself. And so we started, a couple months ago now with Tellico Village Honors Veterans, and hooked up with Wreaths Across America, the Knoxville chapter, Wreaths Knoxville, and set up a situation where our friends, our neighbors, veterans who live here can take advantage of the opportunity to go online and donate, or have an opportunity to talk with us and then make an in-person donation or mail a check-in. There's lots of different opportunities to be involved with that, and we're also looking for people who can come on out on the 14th of December at noon Eastern Time and participate in the ceremony and the laying of the wreaths.
And that's the day, folks, when everyone involved with Wreaths Across America, and also internationally too, we'll get into that in just a minute, can become involved, because that's the day that the wreaths actually get placed at the headstones in the veterans' different cemeteries. And I might just add here, when we first interviewed you up at the National Cemetery in Knoxville, And when we talked about doing it, I said, "Oh, I know where that cemetery is." Well, I didn't. I had confused it almost automatically with the state Veterans Cemetery out on John Sevier Highway. And I think a lot of us in this area are totally unfamiliar with the National Cemetery in Knoxville. We're here at the National Cemetery in Knoxville, Tennessee. And here are buried and interned over 9,000 veterans. And I'm here on my left with Chris Albrecht, who's the Public Information Officer and involved with Wreaths Across America. And Chris, tell us a little bit about Wreaths Across America as it relates to the Knoxville National Cemetery.
Well, Wreaths Across America is a nationwide program, but here in town at the National Cemetery it's particularly meaningful because this is a grassroots effort to place an evergreen wreath on every headstone in the veteran cemeteries across the country. And that certainly includes this one that's our oldest. But it's on all, there's no state or federal funding for this. It's all very much a grassroots effort.
And tell us, if you would, Chris, about the original story of how Wreaths Across America began.
There was a 12-year-old newspaper carrier who won the prize in a subscription drive. He got to go to Washington, D.C. That was his prize. While there, he saw Arlington National Cemetery. Mm-hmm. He was very impressed with it as a young boy. That vision stuck with him, and one of the things that they showed him at Arlington was an older section. They said doesn't get visitors anymore because it was older, the families had all passed on. That stuck with him. As he grew up, he formed a wreath company, the Worcester Wreath Company of Harrington, Maine. And in 1992, he had a surplus of wreaths. Mm-hmm. And with the help of then Maine's U.S. Senator Olympia Snowe, they got permission to take these wreaths to Arlington National Cemetery, where they were placed on the headstones in that older section. And this is an effort that it went on for a while. It kept growing a little bit. It kind of plodded along. And then in 2005, someone had taken a picture at Arlington National Cemetery with the wreaths leaning against the headstones with a blanket of snow and posted it on the internet, and it went viral. And suddenly everybody is wanting to, either volunteer with the effort at Arlington or find out how can we do this at our local veteran cemeteries. And then that's kind of where this comes into play. Because since 2005, there are veteran cemeteries all over the country and even some overseas that are receiving wreaths on National Wreaths Across America Day.
Now, the Wreaths Across America Day is December 14th, is that correct?
Saturday, December 14th at noon local time. It happens at every veteran cemetery at the same time. When we're placing wreaths here at Knoxville National Cemetery, they're doing the same thing at Arlington National Cemetery. So it's a neat feeling of unity.
It is indeed. And this place, folks, I wish you could be here with us as we are personally to see the beauty and grandeur of this old cemetery. Old because it dates back, I think, to, 1863?
1863. This dates back to the Civil War.
And over 9,000 veterans from the Civil War on are buried here. Now, to my right is Mike Blackwell, a resident of Tellico Village. And Mike, you and your wife Sherry have gotten involved with Wreaths Across America, but specifically with this cemetery and the Knoxville Wreaths Across America project.
When we moved into Tellico Village about a year and a half ago, we decided that we would come down to Knoxville National here, participate in the ceremony, sponsor wreaths, and take up the cause.
The first grave marker, I think, goes back to, 1863?
I believe it's 1863. Yep.
And it's an amazing place and a very humbling and gratifying experience to see where these veterans and family members are buried and interred. And it's the reason why I got involved with Wreaths Across America too, as a volunteer. So,
no, we certainly appreciate that. And like I said, our goal is to make up that 6,000 wreath deficit that was in place there last year. And in order to do that, we're going to need to cast a pretty wide net, a wider net certainly than we could just within Tellico Village community. I'm confident that we're going to make up those 6,000 reasons that every American hero who is resting at Knoxville National will be honored and remembered in the way that was intended.
Now, the slogan, if I'm getting this correct, and I'm looking at your T-shirt to remind me as I do it, remember, honor, and teach.
Yep.
Both of you, tell us a little bit about that. Tell our viewers about those statements and what it has to do with Wreaths Across America and our veterans.
Why don't you tell them about the remember and honor part?
Okay, so the remember is you remember every soldier in the cemetery that is interred there, and when you place a wreath, you say their name out loud. Soldier passes is when he takes his last breath and also when he's forgotten. And by saying his name or her name when you place the wreath, you're remembering them. The honor part is when you do that, if appropriate, if you're a veteran, you stand back and you salute. And we are honoring them, all of us honor them, just by placing the wreath. You want to tell them about teach?
Yeah, and the teach component of the Wreaths Across America mission is really important to me personally because I'm a retired educator. And I think Ronald Reagan once said that freedom is never more than one generation removed from extinction.
And both of you have just raised excellent points because you don't necessarily have to purchase a wreath or several wreaths. That's one way of doing it, certainly.
Mm-hmm.
Another way of doing it is through the volunteer effort. Now, there's an event that's coming up on Veterans Day,
mm-hmm.
and perhaps you want to tell our viewers about that, and that's something that they can get involved with.
Sure. Wreaths Across America, Knox Wreaths in particular, has an arrangement with Calhoun's. And all of the area Calhoun's restaurants on November 11th, Veterans Day, will be offering free meals to veterans. I believe the hours are between 11 a.m. and 7 p.m. on Veterans Day. And what they have done for Wreaths Across America is that Calhoun's has offered an opportunity for local groups who are promoting wreaths to come in and set up a table in the lobby or just outside the lobby of all of their local restaurants, and to be able to greet folks as they come in or as they're leaving, and to promote Wreaths Across America and this cause of remembering, honoring, teaching. We're really looking forward to that opportunity, and we will be at the Lenoir City Calhoun's with Tellico Village Honors Veterans from 11 to 7 on November 11th, Veterans Day.
So be sure, if you're a veteran, or even if you're not a veteran, that this is open to everyone on Veterans Day the 11th. Please visit the Calhoun's in Lenoir City, and Mike and Sherry, and I'll probably be there as well.
We would love to have you there, Elliot.
It would be my honor and privilege. Sherry, some of our viewers might wonder if any of this Wreaths Across America program is tax deductible or just the whole purpose of how they can make their donations. Would you give our viewers a chance to answer that?
Sure. So Wreaths Across America started back in 1994, and it was donated by the founder of the wreaths at cost. So the $15 goes for the wreath, and there's no profit to the company that makes the wreaths. It's just the cost of the wreath. And all of the trucks, the fuel, the drivers, that's all donated. The drivers donate their time, the truck companies donate their trucks, and it is a 401c, so it is tax deductible.
Okay, now just to let our viewers know, Wreaths Across America actually is international, right? There were a bunch of wreaths, I believe, that were placed on the graves at Normandy.
Yeah, last year
14th.
I think was the first year that they the reach of Wreaths Across America actually stretched across the pond, and they were able to place, I can't remember exactly how many wreaths it was, but at the markers of fallen American soldiers over in Normandy.
In Normandy,
And so that's a program that I am certain they intend to continue, as we have many of our American heroes who have been laid to rest over there with their comrades in arms. It keeps growing, it keeps moving forward, and we're thrilled to be a part of that and to invite our friends, neighbors, and relatives in Tellico Village to share in it.
We can't say it any better.
Thank you, Elliot.
Thank you.
Thank you both for being here today. And folks, these programs are all made possible by volunteers here at Tellico Village Broadcasting. We thank you so much for your time today, and we look forward to seeing you again very soon. Have a great day.